Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we are excited to be talking When Calls the Heart. The new season is starting next week. It's going to be very fun. And we got lots to talk about. We're going to be previewing, and we want to hear your thoughts of what you think. We know that it ended very controversial last season, so we got lots to talk about. And I am film critic Rachel Wagner, and Mary Richards is here.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. I can't believe it's time to start talking about this again. I
know.
was like,
It kind of does feel like forever, though. It feels like
that
so
too.
long ago.
Yes, both in the same space.
Yeah.
Like it's been like forever, but then also that like, oh, it's already here. Maybe because we've had to wait a little bit longer between other seasons, or maybe because
Yeah.
so much happened last season that my brain is like, okay, let's do this again.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
It
heart.
really did. I mean, I was shocked. I still wish I could be a fly on the wall and find out what happened around episode 5 that made them completely change,
Just,
because it was bonkers.
I know. So yeah, with all of that, it's been so interesting to see as people are preparing and how Hallmark's been kind of promoting this next season.
Yeah.
Like and return to Hope Valley and all the people you love. And I'm like, except for Lucas, who got his heart broken.
Right.
So yeah. and it's so interesting to see the comments on social media of those. The majority are can't wait, so excited, and a lot are like, nope, not watching anymore.
Yeah.
And many are like, yes, now she can be with the man she loves. So there's just so much.
I'm just amazed that if anybody could get through season 5 and still be a fan, that this would be the tipping point, because that I think was handled so poorly with Jax leaving, and that they would have that happen 3 episodes after the wedding was just outrageous and ridiculous. And so if you could get through that, like, I don't understand how this is the breaking point.
That's true. You know what? And I did get through that, even though I think I took a break for a little bit. And then I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to come back. So maybe that's what will happen for people this time, because that was like the ultimate, whiplash.
And if you are over When Calls the Heart, despite what Brian Byrne might say, there are lots of other good shows that you can watch. If this isn't your thing anymore, then watch All Creatures Great and Small.
Oh, so lovely.
I can't imagine a single Hardy not loving that show.
Oh, it is. I mean, can we just say it is so beautiful? It's beautifully shot. It's so lovely. The characters,
great characters.
They really lean into the characters more so than the 1970s version or the books of just their and the animals. You just fall in love with some of these animals that you see returning, because in the books he like often moves on, like here's another case I did, but this time you see returning. So obviously we would love people to keep watching When Calls the Heart and listening to this podcast, because there are amazing other beautiful side characters and stories to explore. So I would say, keep watching that show, but When Calls the Heart. Oh, but have we talked about also the drama around Miss Scarlet and the Duke? Because that's another show I love that I'm trying to get people to watch.
Yeah.
Speaking of women who all of a sudden are like led toward, you see this slow burn end game and then poof, it's blown.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Everybody's outrageous. I haven't watched it. I was planning on it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's a deal breaker?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I do. I would say still start the series, but prepared to get your heart broken. So maybe
okay.
No, unless they're just playing with me and they'll bring back the Duke. Anyway, that show is just great because it's just
I have to change the name if the Duke is gone.
It's true, Miss Scarlet. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see how I feel about
Miss Scarlet's Adventures.
Yeah, I guess so. Which are still amazing because I love England. I'm like, let's see. Yeah, these are 2 different parts of England and 2 different time periods. These 2 shows and people to watch.
Yeah. Well, how did you feel about the whole Lucas situation? You were pretty bummed, it seems like, as I recall.
I was, and I was bummed.
Yeah.
He was my pick, and then I realized I put too much stock into that. I should have just been a little bit stepped back, removed as a fan to just enjoy the whole thing instead of being like, they're gonna get married, and then they didn't, and I was bummed. It was really odd because I just think
I mean, I was watching it and I was just like transfixed because I'm like, I can't believe they're doing this, especially the switch up mid-season, all of a sudden to abandon plot. And so like as a critic and sort of evaluator of media, it was fascinating for me to be like, well, what? I can't believe it.
Yes.
And because I have enough of sort of like a distance from the show that I can kind of look at it more as like, I'm not like emotionally invested in the characters. So I can kind of look at it more on like
this higher kind of view.
Almost like a corporate kind of level of like, what is it they're trying to do? Why are they making these choices a little bit? But it was so bizarre and that it was so bizarre that it was like very intriguing to me.
Yes, you were always, I remember you're like, what is happening? And you were intrigued by the whole process of it. Like, how do you write this switch? How do you then develop arcs? I remember all of that. Whereas I was like so stuck up with, I made the mistake of getting a little bit too much into like Instagram's hashtag Luca Beth. So I'm seeing like all this magnified their love story and their love for each other. And so I'm like, hey, I kept the receipts, but then I wasn't looking at the other little clues they were dropping along the way.
But I mean, there weren't much clue. Like in those first 5 episodes, there was almost nothing. That's what's so crazy.
Yes.
And I can understand why the Luca Beth people are upset. Like, I get it, but obviously, like where people take things too far is when you're tagging the actors, when you're harassing people. Very like angry. That's just ridiculous.
Let this go. Like let that go. That's out of your control.
Especially the actors, because they have absolutely no say in what's going on. Like it is not their fault. I mean, I guess you could maybe mildly say Erin Krakow because she is an executive producer, but even so, like I'm sure that these kind of decisions are way over her head. Or, and so I guess if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at Brian, be mad at, the people, the showrunners, but still like it is in the end a television show and it's not worth like losing your humanity over
or sleep or your peace. Think of what you can control and just your own. And I think about the things that people, when you look for things, you see them. As I would see comments from people being like, I knew it the whole time because of the way Nathan and Elizabeth looked at each other. Like they were looking for those things and saw them.
Yeah, those longing looks.
And all those drop clues like of her going to him all the time. And so I am so curious to see now what happens with this new season. Are they going to jump right in and just be like, boom, new love story, or is it going to be another slow development?
Because I've been so frustrated with Nathan because they've given him so little to do as a character. He's just kind of standing around, and every once in a while we'll have a Mountie plot, something with Allie maybe, but they really haven't given Kevin McGarry much as an actor to sink his teeth into. And he has been like frustratingly I don't know, he's just been frustratingly like passive, like not active. Like I understand there's people that are shy and whatever, but like he then tell us he's shy or awkward around women or something. I don't know, just like give him an arc, give him something to do.
That will help his character like grow, develop, do something, take action. I mean, you're a Mountie, be like this dashing hero. And there are, I noticed too, like the very beginning of the show, Jack was always in Mountie uniform. It was a big deal when one day he wasn't.
Right.
Whereas me, it's like, oh, Kevin's always in like suspenders, shirts. Oh, he's in his.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
So maybe they're trying to like soften that job part of him. But into it, I love that stuff. I mean, I watch tons of cop shows. Like apparently I love a guy in a uniform. Let me think about this.
I mean, it's just insane that he's been on this show for 5 seasons and he's never kissed a woman. Like what?
Because they would lean him toward women and we'd start to think, okay, maybe he's going to go with May, maybe Faye. They would just stop. The next episode, it was like, oh, never mind.
Crazy.
They had some talk off camera and that fizzled.
I mean, him, and I've said it many times, him and Elizabeth have never had a meal together.
Right, a date. Yeah, if you're gonna, so yeah, so are they gonna start dating,
Gonna
courting,
actually
or
spend time together. Like
yeah,
that's why Lucas made sense to me. It was like he actually courted her. He
yes,
actually made a move.
yes, yes, he was a man.
And yeah, like he bought her he wanted to buy her a house. How
True.
dare he?
Well, so didn't Jack? He wanted to build them a house. Remember
Yeah,
that?
you're right. Jack
Yeah.
did.
So, I mean, but
Yeah, well,
then Rosemary, her bestie, was like, "You'd be so far away."
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
well, so Elizabeth says to Lucas, I wish I could give you all my heart, but I just can't, and you deserve someone who can. And then Erin Krakow, she said in an interview, she says Lucas has big dreams and Elizabeth doesn't.
Yeah, she wants to stay, and
yeah, I mean, they could have done a way better job of kind of building up the tension. I mean, it was really only he like wanted to buy her a house and like
and
a couple big gifts. I mean, there was just nothing that was like.
And then she pushed him, or at least supported him, to take on this governor politician role. And then she was mad at him when he did it. So
yeah, because they don't want to make. They go out of their way to make Elizabeth not be unlikable, so they can't like have a fight between Lucas and Elizabeth, but it makes her feel unlikable when they've given so little reason for her to be leaving Lucas because he wanted to buy her a house, like. And so that's why, like, on one hand, it was nonsensical, which made it like fascinating to me as a media viewer. Be like, what? I can't believe they're doing this.
Manuscript, I think, and she was furious. And
yeah, I mean, they're just so afraid of stretching Elizabeth as a character.
Yeah.
And what that ends up doing is because they're so afraid that when they have big moments like this, everybody, it's like they have everything on they're going like 30 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they'll be like 100.
Yes.
And then they're like, I can't believe people got upset. I'm like, are you kidding? Of course people got upset.
Of course.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, we don't have the whiteboard big long view that maybe they have in their offices. Maybe they don't. I'm so curious if it's like bit by bit. Oh, good.
There's no way that switchover was planned, and I will never believe that they at the beginning of the season that they had plans episode 5 to be like, okay, we're gonna have this bizarre conversation between Faith and Nathan about how it just didn't work out, even though we never even saw it. We never had a relationship. Oh, we're better off just as friends. I'm like, what are you talking?
Yeah, we're gonna have a cuddly hot air balloon scene, and then she's gonna break his heart in this. It's like
it made no sense. They were like, "Oh, we're better off as just friends," and then from then on, it was like, okay, the entire tone and plot of the show completely changed for the next 5 episodes, and so it's wild. It's wild, but
I know, and I don't think I can. I'd almost rather if there's going to be a breakup, have him leave the show, Lucas. It's going to be so awkward for me to watch them, or to have, now we're going to trot in some new lady and give him it's just,
well, see, that's what I wanted to talk about. So I figured it'd be a good way to kind of talk about each of the main characters and what we think for season 11. And obviously, like, we have no insight. So this is just what we gained from reading articles and interviews and things like that. So we could be totally wrong. So this is just for fun. But Lucas, what do we think his journey will be as governor? Erin said that he's going to embrace being governor and his love for Hope Valley. So he's not going anywhere. I guess it'll be both. And that I guess the whole cliffhanger with, Lucas having amnesia and everything like that, I guess that's going to be dealt with right away in this first episode.
Okay.
She said.
Oh, okay, that's good. Deal with it right away and then get him on to. Yeah, I'm curious if they'll try to, because we have so much of this Hope Valley setting, but then when they bring in these outside places, will he be going back and forth to a big city? Will we see more of those scenes there? Mm-hmm. Or will he just be kind of describing them as he's back in Hope Valley? I wonder where most of his interactions will be now with. Will it be with Rosemary and Lee? Who will now be his foil, that he talks to?
Yeah, because I don't think it will be with Elizabeth that much.
I don't like that for them. When you've woken up, you almost need to. I mean, I just think it's a fallacy that you can then just be friends, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the showrunner, Lindsay Sturman, she said, and on the Heart to Hardy's podcast, said that that the Lucas-related cliffhangers were designed to set him up for more stories. Oh. Also, so viewers know he's coming back. You wouldn't want to think, oh, he's in Capital City, so he's not coming back. Instead, the finale was designed to indicate that something's coming. Mm. And then Brian Bird said some very good things coming too.
Okay.
He says, because I've read ahead.
So, yeah. So good things like he now will help save the town or propel it to new heights, maybe to bring in.
Well, we know there's this corruption, right? Between the governor.
Yes.
Even though there are no governors in Canada. Which is hilarious. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, there's been all this corruption, so he's going to clean everything up.
Yeah, that could be intriguing. That could be good. That could be good.
Yeah. Do you think that they will introduce a love interest for Lucas?
If they do, I don't want them to for many, many episodes. I don't know. Yeah. I think back to. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not.
There isn't many new members listed on the cast. The cast list that's on Hallmark Press. Most of them are people we've seen before. The only new adult that I saw is a woman named Miriam Smith playing Dora Watson is her name. And there is a little girl, Chloe McKinnon, who's playing Lily Watson. So I assume that's her daughter.
Like a mother-daughter combo.
Yeah. And so Chloe's Instagram, I don't think Miriam has an Instagram. I couldn't find it. But Chloe's Instagram is adorable and she looks really cute. Aww. And so that's going to be a good ad because they need desperately new little kids because all of the main Hardy's kids are all teenagers.
Yes.
They're all getting older.
Teach in the school and so if he falls in love with another widow and child that he knows, but they can't pair him with Faith. I mean,
oh no, that would be.
It just feels weird. It would feel weird to be in a small town.
Yeah,
just have to move. if you.
I figure it's got to be either Lucas or unless she's just like a background, she could be. We have no idea. But or it could be a new love interest for Bill. Is what I thought.
Poor Bill.
Because I don't see Madeline anywhere.
Oh, really?
On any of the.
So he gave her his land, and
I don't see her on any of the cast lists. That doesn't mean she's not. She's not on the press site on the cast list.
Interesting.
Brian Bird said that Bill is that Madeline has opened up new things in his life in a good way.
Okay.
So that doesn't imply one or the other, but I don't think that Madeline's coming back. So that's why I figured this Miriam is either, or Dora, this character's name, Dora is either for Bill or for Lucas.
Yeah.
But, we'll see.
New, with some intriguing backstory to investigate or to help or to rescue.
Mm-hmm.
These men are liking to fix things,
So then we have Nathan. It looks like episode 2 is going to be a big episode for Nathan. So episode 1, the summary says Elizabeth turns over a new leaf. Nathan returns home from an investigation while Bill questions its outcome. Rosemary chases a scoop and Lucas makes a surprise announcement. So that's all in episode 1.
Yeah, that seems pretty full of good stuff.
Yeah. It seems like a pretty good premiere. And then episode 2, it says Elizabeth and Allie plan a birthday party for Nathan. Lee and Rosemary weigh business responsibilities against family time, and Lucas settles into his role as governor. So I'm thinking that this is Elizabeth and Allie planning this birthday party. I think this is going to be a big episode for Nathan.
Yes. Lots more longing looks.
Yeah. A lot more longing looks. The Instagram montage makers are going to be hard at work on that one.
What's their couple name? I don't know.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh, the Instagram montage makers. You crack me up. But that's exactly what's going to happen. And my neighbor is going to be sucked into those. She's so happy for this. You have no idea. She's 74. She's like, I knew it was Nathan the whole time. But so here's another thing where he's not planning an event to then invite Elizabeth to. She's doing all the work for this.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Though it is his birthday. But...
That's a good point. Yeah, you just liked him to show some initiative.
A little bit.
Even if he is quiet and if he is shy, like that doesn't mean picnics. He can't like.
She likes rowboat rides.
Eventually you have to make a move, even if you're shy. Like,
yes,
like if you think about the Santa Summit, with the way that they did that. I don't know if you saw that.
I loved that movie.
Yeah, it was so good.
In like Goldfish or something.
Yeah, like the nerdy couple, that finally they have to make a move and they have to say it in their own cute nerdy way. Yes. And so if that's what they're trying to do for Nathan, but just to have him be kind of like doing nothing is just frustrating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Jen Johans, host of the podcast Watch with Jen, which delivers a steady stream of great movie recommendations, thoughtful career deep dives, and first-rate conversations with film critics, authors, actors, journalists, filmmakers, and more. You can find Watch with Jen wherever you get your podcasts or hear us first at our Patreon at patreon.com/filmintuition.
So Elizabeth, what do we think her arc is going to be this season?
I wonder. I mean, we've seen her go through challenges to her teaching career, like outside, factors have come in there. We've seen her writing career, different things that she's worked on there. Friendship, arcs with Rosemary, obviously the love stuff arcs, but what can she do as a person instead of just being always attached to a man, as maybe what some people would probably want to bring up.
Yeah, I that would be nice. I mean, they tried to do that a little bit with her book.
Yeah.
For a while, but that was still kind of attached to Lucas because his mom was the editor and whatever.
Well, and with also like her role as a mother isn't explored as much because I know they probably have like only certain hours you can work with children,
Right.
And so often.
Well, and she just couldn't work with the kids, which was such a shame because that was by far her strength on the show was working with the kids because of COVID and everything. So the last like 2-3 seasons have been way reduced to the time spent at the school. And so I hope we get to see sort of more of that, maybe with this new girl, this new
because she's
girl Chloe.
Beautiful. She's a beautiful teacher. That kind of role of finding, some sort of whatever is bothering a child or something that's going on or breaking through and teaching them in a new way. I'd love to see more of those scenes. Yeah,
I almost wish that sometimes that they would go sort of Love Comes Softly on us and have her not necessarily adopt, but like in that series, it was always that they would welcome in a new girl, an orphan or whatever, and then like the next 2-3 movies would be from that girl's perspective, and then there, is how they kind of kept the story going. And so if there was like an orphan train or something like that, and she had sort of a new
somebody,
that would be fun,
mentor, to teach or to provide hope to, and think of all her darling scenes with Opal and all those they're growing older now. And
Ava Grace Cooper, she's like a full woman. It's amazing. It's like, oh my gosh, Opal's grown up.
I know, and Allie's getting so much older.
Yeah.
When will little Jack be old enough to start? Like, when did they start school back then? Not that
I don't know. That's
historical
a good question.
Facts matter for the show. Let's be honest.
Right.
World War I, what war?
Right.
The Great War, what war? But yeah, when he starts school, those would be really cute scenes too.
Yeah, that would be cute to have him at school. Yeah, that would be really cute.
Start like 6 or 7 probably.
So this Lindsay Sturman, she said on this podcast, Heart to Hearties, she said that Elizabeth will be going on a separate journey to figure out what was going on with her feelings for Lucas. So we'll probably be getting a lot of like writing her journal and long contemplative thoughts. So we go.
Maybe that'll help with the gaslighting to get the rest of us in, like rethink our thinking patterns about that. Oh, this is what really happened.
Yeah.
So fine, I'll accept it. I, though, cannot wait to see, is there any clue or nugget about Henry Gowan?
Yes. So Henry, very interesting. So what will happen to him? He visited Abigail. That was the cliffhanger of the and Brian Bird, he said, Henry is a living onion. You just keep peeling the layers back every season. I mean, I agree, but I also kind of feel like, what else is there? What else is there for him? You know what I mean? Like,
we had to give him all the storylines, like all the, the conflict and drama and onion layers are only in one man.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. It's like he's the only one that's allowed to like change and be flawed and
we're gonna keep
him and Rosemary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Poor Henry, man.
I have a feeling we won't see him that much this season. It's just a hunch. I don't know that is a fact.
Especially if he's connected with Abigail off screen. Is there going to be more of that? Or is he trying to move on, with his life? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and they said that about Abigail returning. Brian said, we haven't been shy about invoking Abigail at all on the show. He points out saying that through Henry's journey, the door has opened. That said, the exec reveals there are no current plans. I hope it can happen someday, just as a fan of the show, he concludes. So there's no plan on that for this season. Which, I could actually see them now because they've been airing Garage Sale Mysteries. She hasn't been completely scrubbed anymore like she was for a while.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see it now at this point, which, for a while I was like, does she really deserve, to come back? But because there's so many, actresses that deserve a shot, But on the other hand, she did pay her debt to society.
Yeah.
So who am I to say, like, you can never work again? Like, that's ridiculous.
Like they explore that very theme of forgiveness and trying to be at peace with something in this show. So
yeah.
Can that be a theme outside of it with the actors and actresses? That's a good question. Some people
just, the character
have long memories and others.
Yeah, the character was so. I mean, Abigail was not my favorite character. She was kind of sanctimonious and perfect and
but too sweet.
Yeah, I mean, but just like, so I kind of feel like, will I be able just personally to accept her as Abigail, even though I didn't love her to begin with as Abigail?
Yeah. Maybe we're fine with her memory and her presence and discussing her kind of in name drops every once in a while.
Yeah, is she going to be able to be is she going to be able to be a moral clarity on the show like she was? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. And we've got this great pastor now who can fill that.
Yeah, that's true.
Morals and values and somebody who counsels and talks.
Well, yeah, and kind of Bill sort of took over that role as well,
Mhm.
of kind of being the mayor and the or judge and kind of, so he kind of did that. So I don't know. It would be interesting to see how it worked, but
Yeah.
I guess it's not happening this season. But speaking with Bill, I think that he and Rosemary are going to team up in episode 3. So the episode 3, it says Rosemary and Bill team up to investigate a case they believe shouldn't be closed.
That'll be good. I kind of like their interactions, and they both have, such strong kind of personalities that we could get some funny lines too.
It is nice on this show when you have pairings that you typically don't see. You have actors spending time together that you typically don't see. That is nice. And so, yeah, Bill and Rosemary, we haven't seen that many of them.
Yeah,
and
so good.
I think it could. Yeah, I agree.
I could see him, getting, hey, this is my investigation. I'm the investigator. And she'd be like, she'd just shake her head and take over. It'll be great.
Yeah. The women of Hope Valley start a daycare, and Hickam and May celebrate a milestone. So that kind of brings us to, I'm pretty sure, I would bet money that May and Hickam are going to be the wedding for the season. I really do. I think, that we know that there is going to be a wedding. We've that Brian has said that. He said that someone's going to get hitched. Romance is in the air during season 11, and for at least one Hope Valley couple, that will lead to an exchange of vows. There's going to be another wedding at Hope Valley. Bird confirmed during this podcast. I'm looking forward to that. I really think
them. I really want it to be them. There were some darling cute moments between them. Speaking of shy guys,
yeah,
to act and do something. If they just drop that, I'll be so sad. They are really cute.
And in the promo, there's a little moment with Hickam kissing May on the cheek, just a little kiss.
Oh, love it. My veins, Rachel. I love it.
So I really think that that's happening. I would bet money that's and so that should be really fun. Good, because I do enjoy Hope Valley wedding.
Oh, they're so sweet. The whole town's involved.
And the last one we really got was Ned and Florence, right?
I think so, because, or what's the name of Clara and remember Jesse?
That was
before.
That was before, yeah. That was
right?
Before.
Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
So then we also have Rosemary and Lee. They are going to be balancing being new parents and work. And at the end of the season, they asked Henry to be Marigold's godfather.
Right.
So that was really sweet. And I'd like to see that relationship continue to grow.
Mm-hmm. That would be really, really sweet. Him, babysitting, or him offering, or I don't know. It'd be cute.
Yeah.
It'd be another layer to Henry.
So in one of these episodes, I forgot to write down which one, but they are celebrating Marigold's first birthday. So there is going to be a little bit of a time jump.
Yeah.
From the end of season 10.
Then maybe that does jump us forward past all the heartbreak for Lucas. Just, because here I was thinking I was thinking we would see some of that awkwardness, but if they just do a time jump, then we've gotten past all the breakup awkwardness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A year-old Goldie. So cute.
Yeah, that'll be fun. She looks really cute. So then episode 4, It's called Along Came a Spider, and it says it's Easter in Hope Valley. So Elizabeth organizes an egg hunt with help from Nathan. A visitor from Lucas's past gets the town talking. Angela and Cooper seek to mend a relationship. So I kind of wonder maybe if this visitor from the past will be like the new love interest for Lucas.
Oh, I was thinking political or but maybe. Yeah, maybe. Though
Could
that's a
be,
late
could be.
Easter episode. That's okay. They usually
Yeah.
don't time these to our calendar, so that's fine.
I know.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird. Like I thought, is that especially when you literally have the show starting
Around Easter.
right around Easter. But
That's okay.
it'll be cute,
Visitor
with
from the past.
Elizabeth. So Elizabeth organizes the egg hunt with the help from Nathan. So that could give like lots of chances for
yes.
flirty fun.
Of course. Why are these eggs over here alone together?
Yeah. So a couple other characters. I mean, Faith and Fiona. I don't think that much is going to happen with them. I think they're just going to be supporting.
I think you're right. That trio of women, kind of, maybe they'll be like the ones that are, moving May along toward toward a wedding or toward, whatever with Hickam. I could see them still being that. Yeah, just supporting.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know. I forgot to look this up, but I don't know if Andrea was on, like maternity rest after. I know she's in the season, but I don't know if that
be a couple episodes where we don't have her because she's had a baby. Yeah, maybe
because she had a baby after season 10.
That's right.
So that makes me kind of wonder. I have no idea.
Visiting family or off getting some more training. I mean, they could easily write it in if she is maybe with the time jump. No, wait, time jumps don't happen in real life. Never mind. I don't know. I was like, as I was saying it, I'm like, that doesn't. Never mind. The actress still needs to spend time with her new baby,
right?
The character's baby. I'm so sorry. I support the longest maternity leave she did.
So then the Canfields. So we know we're getting like Angela. It says Angela and Cooper.
Yeah. They're gonna. They have something in one of the.
It says seek to mend a relationship.
Oh yeah. What that's about.
And of course we had I forgot what's the Joseph. We had Joseph that he kind of went through a bit of a faith journey last season. And also kind of deciding to be fully committed to being the pastor.
Yeah.
So he quit working for Lee and all that.
That's right. He's all into that role. So I'm looking forward to what can come from that.
Yeah. And then we also had Minnie. She is considering buying the cafe at the end. So I don't know if they'll do anything with that.
Yeah. Would we rename it Minnie's, Minnie's Cafe or what's going to happen there? She's so great. I always love her scenes. She's such a presence, such a support, kind person.
Yeah. She's good. And I'm excited. Did you hear about that they have a new movie coming out, the Viv Leacock and Natasha Burnett?
Oh, no.
It's called like The Mystery of the Lost Locket or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. The only thing that was weird is that it's on regular Hallmark, not on Hallmark Mysteries.
Oh. Well, maybe
I think it's The Legend of the Lost Locket.
The Legend of the Lost Locket. Maybe they really want to get it a bigger audience.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm really intrigued to see how it does because the Mahogany movies have not done well. Like, I mean, and a lot of them have been terrible. But I was really bummed because the Sense and Sensibility, which I think they really tried.
Yes.
It had its flaws, but I think they really tried.
There's like a higher level of production, of writing, of acting, of costumes. It was really well done.
It did really bad. The ratings were terrible, and which bums me out. But I think that at least a little bit of the reason is because they keep using unknowns for these Mahogany movies.
And a lot of times you want to see somebody that you recognize or that you've grown to love a character in another show. And so, I'll watch them again. So maybe it needs to be more known.
Yeah. So I think using Viv and Natasha could make a difference, because I mean, like Holly Robinson's movies have done well, and the Maoris, when they've done movies, I think they've done pretty well.
Well, yeah.
So Tia and Tamara, and so I don't know, it's just a weird thing going on with Mahogany. And like I said, most of those movies were pretty terrible. But it was a bummer about Sense Sensibility. 0.9, not good.
Oh, that isn't good.
Yeah, like the what was it? The one with the acrobats, aerial acrobats.
Yes.
It had almost double the ratings.
Oh, and Sensibility was better.
It's definitely better, no question.
I don't know.
So it's a bummer.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm excited to see them in that movie, and to see what they come up with for the Canfields in season 11.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that basically covers everybody, all of the main characters. And like I said, from what I could see in the cast list, I didn't see many new names. So I don't think there's going to be like a major new character.
Okay.
Like we got with like May, or somebody like that.
Yeah, that comes and stays. Maybe something like an episode or two.
Right.
Lee, does he? Oh yeah, that's right. Lee, and you talked about that. Lee and Rosemary will be. I wonder if anything will happen with his business, or those storylines, or I mean, are we gonna have some dramatic like explosion like last time, or
that could be interesting, and to see how his like relationship with Henry changes and grows, and
will those hot springs come back? Will we see more?
Yeah, if we see them again.
Oh yeah, the hot springs, old news. I'm wondering what the new kind of thing to freshen up Hope Valley will be, or if it's like, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But let us know what you think about the season. If you've heard other things that we didn't cover, put in the comments. We'd love to hear that. And if you're excited, or if you're not, I put on our Twitter, I said, what do people think about the new season? And one of the commenters said, nothing I can say that's appropriate.
Oh no. I was like, some trepidation there, some anger.
Yeah, but so we'll see what they do, how they come out of season 10. It's going to be interesting, and we'll have a lot of fun covering it for sure.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let us know in the comments or on Twitter, and you can listen to all our recaps and interviews and everything else with When Calls the Heart. I'll put the playlist in the comments, in the description, so check that out. And Mary, where can people follow you?
So I'm on Twitter @_Mary Richards, on Instagram Mary Richards Reports, and Facebook Reporter Mary Richards.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really helps us a lot. Especially there was this update to the iPhones that kind of messed everybody up. So it would really help us right now if you could do that. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. And we also have our Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support us. In fact, next week, we are going to be doing, for our Patreon event, we're going to be doing a watch along of the finale of season 10 with yours truly. And we can hash it out and talk about it. And it's just going to be fun. We normally have a guest, but it just didn't work out this month. But we will have a good one next month. But this should be fun, something different. So you join the Patreon, check it out. And then we also have our merch store, which has tons of Hardy's inspired merch. So take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.